it's Shadowless TCG here, and this is one of my many top 10 videos I'll be doing about Pokemon cards. And what better way to start this series off with the top 10 of the most valuable and rarest Pokemon cards. This video has taken a lot of time doing research, so I hope you enjoyed, and please show some love if you did to the like button, because I always appreciate your support. Anyway, let's kick things off. The Pokemon TCG is officially 18 years old and was first brought on the market in 1996 by Media Factory in Japan. 3 years later, it was introduced in North America and the rest of the world as well by Wizards of the Coast in 1999, with this first set being the base set. Now, throughout the years, the Pokemon TCG came with really rare and hard to find cards because they weren't printed in a large scale like the usual sets out there. And today we'll be checking out a top 10 of the most valuable and expensive cards. So if you have one of those cards, be really happy because you have something really nice in your collection. So let's start it off. Number 10! On number 10 we find EX Pokemon cards, and now you're thinking to yourself, wow, is he really serious? I have a ton of EX cards, that means I have a ton of valuable cards. Well, actually EX Pokemon cards are only valuable if they're really popular, playable, or if they're full art. So if you have a full art Pokemon EX card, then it's worth like a ton of money, actually if it's mint condition. So the prices vary between $20 and $60 as a maximum, because if you have a playable full art EXs, for example like Landorus EX, when I made this video, Landorus EX was a really playable card and everyone was searching for it and looking for it to put it in their deck. So that's why certain EXs can get to the value of $60. Also, if you have an older EX, actually like Charizard from the Fire Red and Leaf Green set, is also like worth, if it's mint, over $100, because that card has been really popular and always has been popular since the release of that set, and since older sets are way harder to obtain, and if you have a card that is mint, that's why the prices go up. Also, cards like Mewtwo EX Full Art and Darkrai EX Full Art, all the good stuff is worth a lot of money. As I said, the prices vary between a minimum of $10 to a maximum of $60, so certain full art EXs aren't worth that much. So let's go on to number 9. On number 9 we find Shining Pokemon cards. Now you're thinking to yourself, wow, I have a Shining Pokemon card, it's a Relicanth and it's really shiny. Well, that's not worth a lot of money. I'm talking about way back in the Neo sets, we had like Shining Pokemon cards. If you look to the right corner of your Pokemon card, they have like 3 stars instead of just 1 star, so that way you will know if it's really rare, because Shining Pokemon cards were really hard to obtain, and nowadays nobody has those old school Pokemon cards in mint condition. If you have those in mint condition, if you're a true collector, then your Shining Pokemon are worth between $100 and $150 if they're mint. If they're not mint, they usually go for like $30 or like $60 if they're not mint, or yeah, they are worth a lot of money. So Shining Charizard are some Pokemon I actually think that are going for a lot of money. Shining Mewtwo is also a card like that, but Shining Magikarp and Shining Gyarados, those are the ones, the cheapest ones. Those go usually around $25, not that expensive, but if they're a mint condition, graded 10, they are worth a lot more. So they are on the number 9 spot, Shining Pokemon cards. Also, if I didn't mention it already, if they're limited edition, the prices go up immensely fast. So if it's limited edition, like let's say you have a Mewtwo Shining and it's worth $50, if it's limited edition, if it's a limited edition card, we have it to $100 if it's mint. So you see, it goes up really fast. Limited edition cards are worth way more. Number 8. On number 8 we find Gold Star cards. Yeah, Gold Star Pokemon cards, those are worth a lot of money. They are rumored to only have like, the ratio is pulling 1 Gold Star cards out of 3 booster boxes. So the ratio was that so hard, and they're actually so hard to get nowadays because it's from the older EX era, and that's why the Gold Star Pokemon cards are worth a lot of money. As I said, the most popular ones, Charizard, Mewtwo, also other Pokemon, Jolteon and Kyogre, Groudon. We also have like a really a variety of Gold Star Pokemon cards. So if you have one of those and if it's in really great condition, you can actually sell it for a lot of money. Usually they go for like $50, $60, $70. If they're really mint and graded 10 or something, they go way up. We're speaking like $150, $200 easily, because if they're mint, graded 10, that's what the price is. Number 7. On number 7 we find Southern Iceland. Yeah, those cards is actually a set There are actually only two sets printed, so only 18 cards in total. So they're also known as the Rainbow and Tropical Iceland cards. So you also have them as promos, but those are not the promo ones, and that actually is valued between $150 to $300 per card. If they're in the best condition, you get the maximum price. So imagine yourself if you have a complete set, but nobody has one of those sets completely because they're so hard to get. If you have someone, let me know. I want to see them in all their glory. Number 6. On number 6, we find Charizard First Edition Shadowless. That's right. Charizard, back in the days, if you were like a kid like me, if you have a Charizard, you were the king of the playground. Everyone had respect for you because you pulled that insanely powerful dragon card. It's not a dragon, I know, but people called it the dragon, the dragon Pokemon from the first generation. But yeah, Charizard is one of those cards that has always had value. If you have a unlimited edition, it's worth some money. But if you have a limited edition, a first edition, it's worth a ton more. And if you have a Shadowless, then we're talking about easy $300 to $700 if it's mint. So a lot of money. Charizard has always been hype. So if you have one of those cards, if it's Shadowless, if it's first edition, and you want to sell it, that's the price. It varies. Number 5. On number 5, we find Pokemon Snap cards. Wow, Pokemon Snap? Yes, that's right. Pokemon Snap was a game released on the Nintendo 64 all the way in 1999. Yeah, that's right. The objective of the game was really simple. You have to take pictures of Pokemon, and if you take great pictures, you get points. So, also Korokoro magazine did a contest that people had to take pictures, and the best the best pictures were turned into Pokemon cards, which were not many Pokemon cards. So they're really, really rare, extremely rare actually, and they vary between $600 to $18,000 per card. I actually saw the Gyarados Snap card go for like $13,000 one day on eBay, but yeah, those snap cards are really valuable. Number 4. On number 4, we have the Tropical Mega Battle 2001 cards. Wow, that's a mouthful. You can also call them VS cards. There are only 12 sets have been made, and they're extremely hard to find nowadays. The Pokemon are actually from gym leaders and Elite Four members, and they look really, really cool. It was from the E-Series era. Also, if they're mint condition, those cards can go for a lot of money. Tyranitar half decks have been made because in Japan there were those tournaments, Tropical Mega Battle tournaments, and if English people went there, the cards get turned into English, which were not a lot of players actually. Not a lot of players went all the way to Japan to actually play those tournaments because Pokemon hadn't exploded back in the days. The TCG was just in its beginning phases in the US here and Europe as well. So only 12 sets, as I said, have been made from those half decks, and as you can see, the prices vary between $5,000 to $10,000 for those cards. So a lot of hype actually for those cards. I love them because they're from gym leaders and stuff. So if you have one of those, be really lucky because there aren't a lot. You also have those Japanese ones, and the older the Tropical Mega Battle cards are, the more money they will bring you actually. So number 3. On number 3 we find World Championship cards, and I'm not talking about Tropical Beach or something like that. I'm talking about the number 1 place, the 2nd place, and the 3rd place of the entire tournament of World. So the older the card is and the better its condition, the more money it's worth. So there are only 3 copies printed every year. So one gets to the 1st place winner, the 2nd place winner, and the 3rd place winner. So those cards are insanely hard to find since they only get like per year you get 3 of those. So as I said, the Japanese Pokemon cards are worth more since the tournaments there began earlier than in the US and Europe. So the older the card, the better the money. So we have a price that varies between $3,000 to $6,000 and even more if it's in a great condition, mint condition, graded and stuff. So yeah, World Championship cards, we get them every year and they're insanely powerful and hard to get. Number 2! On number 2 we find the all-famous pre-release Raichu. The minimum price is $10,000 flat, and Also the maximum price varied. I've seen one go for like 13,000 or more, actually $14,000, so can even get higher than that, because actually the pre-release Raichu, if you remember pre-release Pokemon, if you go to a pre-release you get a Pokemon card with a stamp of the set printed on it, and since the base set didn't have a pre-release because it was the first set ever printed, and actually the pre-release stamp got mistakenly printed on the Raichus and got spread over the world. It is rumored that there are only like 15 to 20 Pokemon Raichu pre-release cards out there in the world, so that's not a lot, because pre-release Raichus are really hard to find. If you see one in person, you should be honored, because it's one of the rarest cards in my list, and existence actually is the number second on my list. What is number one? Stay tuned. Number one! On number one we find Illustrator. Yeah, that's right. Illustrator, it looks like a Japanese card, and you're saying like, wow, it's a holographic trainer card. What is the word? Well, it states on the top Illustrator instead of trainer card, and it actually has the it actually states, we certify that your illustration is an excellent entry in the Pokemon card game illustration contest. Therefore, we state that you are an official authorized Pokemon card illustrator and admire your skills. So it was a Pokemon drawing contest, and the winner actually received that Illustrator card, and actually is rumored that there are only 6 copies out there of the Illustrator card, so that is the rarest Pokemon card in existence. Not many copies have been printed, and it's like a contest winner card, so only the winner got that card. He probably sold it for a lot of money. It easily goes for $12,000 to $20,000. As I said, if it's in great condition you get the maximum price, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the rarest Pokemon card in my list. So I might have forgotten a few, but this is my top 10 that I figured out. So hopefully you enjoyed this list. If you have Pokemon cards that you say like, I think this one is more expensive, you can always feel free to put it in the comment section, and everyone will check it out. And thank you for that, because it's really nice to know which Pokemon cards are the most expensive ones out there. Also, don't forget to click that like button, because that way I level up my Zapdos. And if you want, you can subscribe. I do a lot of Pokemon TCG videos on my channel, TCG online battles. We have booster openings and weekly episodes every Wednesday where I talk about the most competitive cards. So thanks a lot for watching this video, and I'll be doing more top 10s of Pokemon cards. Actually, the next one will be the top 10 weirdest Pokemon cards of all time. But yeah, stay tuned for that, and I'll leave you guys with that. Thanks again for watching. Peace.